everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday, November 9th, and I am going to sit down and do my paycheck to paycheck budget, and then we're going to figure out what we have left to put towards Debt Snowball, and then the fun part, we're going to go in and stuff all of my envelopes, my expense envelopes, as well as my sinking funds. So we will just go ahead and get started here. I always, for those of you that are new, I separate these out into different categories. So I have debt, bills, expenses, sinking funds, what I have for income for the week, and then what my balance is, everything left over. Now, expenses and sinking funds I pull out in cash, and then debt and bills, they stay in my checking account because those bills are paid automatically, or some of them I actually transfer over to Capital One 360, but they're still paid online. So we will go ahead and get started here. Now, the ones that I am writing down, or all of these that I'm writing down, are a weekly amount. So if I have a credit card that the minimum payment is $100 a month, I'm taking out $25 a week. Or if it's a 5-week month, I actually divide that by 5. So November is a magic month. What that means is, for me, there are 5 paydays in November. So I get paid for my full-time job every Friday. There are 5 Fridays in November. So that's exciting because you kind of get an extra paycheck even though your debt and your bills are the same amount. Obviously for like my grocery, gas, and spending expenses, as well as my sinking funds, those I'm still taking out every week, so for the 5 weeks, but the debt and the bills, you still have that same minimum payment regardless of whether you're getting paid 5 times or 4 times. So that's always exciting. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So my first one is Capital One. And the weekly amount that I'm taking out for Capital One for the month of November is $21.75. And then now next I would normally do PayPal, but if you guys watched my or I guess one of the last videos I did, which was making extra debt snowball payments, you would know that I actually paid off PayPal, Kohl's, and one of my Capital One credit cards. So I did 3 debts paid off just about a week ago. So if you haven't seen it, I will post that video in the description down below. You actually get to watch me go in and make those payments live. So it was really exciting. A little bit of a weight lifted off my shoulders. So I am down 3 debts. So that is super exciting. So we have Capital One. The next is One Main. One Main is a personal loan that I have, and that one is $76.25. Next is Apple, and Apple is $6.75. And then, like I said, we paid off Kohl's. That would have been next, so we will cross that one out. And then the last one is my car payment, and that one is $153. So we will go ahead and total these 4 debts up and see where we are at. $76.25, $6.75, and $153, so $257.75. And I was up to $295, so paying off those 3 made a really big difference here. Okay, so next we're going to go into bills. The first one I have is Hulu, which is the only TV supplier, I guess, we have. That's $12.25 a week. Then I have Verizon, so that is for mine and my oldest son's cell phone. That is $22.40 a week. Next is car insurance. and I said this before, I currently am paying this on a weekly base or a monthly basis, but I would like to, maybe when I get a few more debts paid off, I would like to actually be able to maybe use a sinking fund and be able to fund the car insurance in whole or as a whole. So maybe, I don't know if I'll do a yearly amount or start with the 6 month, since you have to pay it every 6 months. I don't know exactly what I'll start with, but I would like to do that. But I'm probably going to wait until I get at least 1 or 2 more debts paid off, mainly the capital one, because that's kind of a big one. So my car insurance right now a week is $20. Next is my kids' school account, which is $13.13. And then my daughter's tumbling, which is $8.45 this week. And I know these are strange amounts with strange change at the end of it, but I like to do exact amounts so that at the end of the month it all adds up to what the minimum payment is going to be. So we'll go ahead and add this section. So we have $12.25, $22.40, $20, $13.13, and $8.45. So $76.23. Now, normally I would include rent here, but I take rent out as cash since I live in a family-owned house. I just give them the cash every month, $200. So I put it down here just for my own knowing of, okay, I need to take this out and this out in cash. The rest stays in my account. So that's the only reason I include it in expenses when technically it is a bill. For expenses, the first one we have is rent, which we are doing $50. And then gas. Gas is going to get the normal $40. I give myself $40 every week for gas. Groceries. And actually, if you watched my last weekly check-in video, you'll know that I actually went over budget on groceries by about $15, but I'm still going to leave it at $80. I had to get a few things that I was getting low on, so it happens. And then the last one for expenses is spending, and I give myself $40 a week for spending. So we'll get this section totaled up. So we have 50, 40, 80, and 40, so $210. Alright, the fun one for me, which is sinking funds. I really, really love sinking funds. So the first one is car maintenance. And so with that insurance, what I was talking about with the car insurance, I would probably just add it into car maintenance and maybe up what I'm putting in here every week to then try to get to that insurance premium amount and either pay it 6 months at a time, or eventually I would like to do yearly. But for right now, we are doing $10 a week for car maintenance, which basically for me will cover my car registration, which will be due in June, and then oil changes and whatnot. Kids. So my kids sinking fund, every week I do $20. Christmas. And if you guys have been with me for a little bit, you know that I am currently putting $100 in Christmas every week. I think this is either the, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is the third week of me putting $100 into Christmas. It will go back down. I think I decided I was going to do it until like the second week of December, just because I really want to try to get my Christmas sinking fund up there a little bit before Black Friday. So that's why that is so high. Medical gets $5. Household I am putting 15 in a week. Gifts is at 10. Personal care is the last one. And that's for mainly for my kids' haircuts, is at 15. I have to fix this because I put this sticker on one line too soon. And I'm kind of OCD when it comes to stuff like that, so if I don't fix it, it will drive me crazy. Okay, so now we'll total up my sinking funds. So we have 10, 20, 100, 5, 15, 10, and 15. So 175. And then after the second week of December, when I am not going to be doing 100 anymore, I will probably drop it back down to the 20 that I was doing before, and then just keep that going until next year, and then I'll decide what I want to do. So that's sinking funds. So all of my bills and expenses and everything are written down. Now I'm going to come to income. So I had three different, well, technically 2 different income sources, but one of them I had was more than I normally get. So that would be my full-time job. I normally get just $537, which I'm going to write that down. But we also had a small bonus, which was $64. So nothing huge, but it was $64 that I wasn't expecting to get, so I will definitely take that. And then my part-time job was $193. So we'll total those 3 income sources up. So we have $537, $64, and $193, so $794. Now this obviously does not include what I make from YouTube and what I make from Etsy. I don't ever include that here because I want to be able to budget my bills and expenses and everything with what I make from my full-time and my part-time job. And then whatever I have left over from Etsy and YouTube income that didn't go to taxes and that didn't have to go towards any business expenses, whatever I have left will then go towards an extra debt snowball payment that I do once a month. And I do post, or I will start posting those videos because you guys really enjoyed that one, as did I. It was really fun to make. So this total here is not Etsy and does not include YouTube income. So what we're going to do is I am going to total up these 4 sections here and see how much we are at with bills. So we have $257.75, $76.23, $210, and $175. So we're at $718.98. So $718.98, and then our income was $794. So the leftover amount, which will stay in my checking account and then will be added to all the other weeks' leftover amount, that will all go to an extra debt snowball payment that I make usually the beginning of the following month after I have figured out all my Etsy and YouTube income and whatnot. So we have $75 and 2 cents left over to go towards debt for this week, just from the paycheck side of it. Now what I'm going to do is I will get all of my cash laid out. I did already go to the bank. I live about 15 minutes from town, so it's easier for me to just go to the bank on my way home from work on Fridays. And so I kind of figure all of this out before I leave work. That way I know how much cash to take out, since I don't really live close to a bank. So I'm going to lay out all the cash, get my sinking funds ready in my cash envelopes, and then we will start stuffing these envelopes. Alright, I have everything set up here, ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my 3 expenses envelopes. So we will start with gas. So I actually have a few dollars left over in gas, so I'm going to set this money aside, and I'll show you guys at the end what I'm going to do with that money. So gas is empty now. Gas gets $40 a week. So we're going to put $40 in here, and then gas will be fully funded. Next, I have groceries, and I have nothing left over in groceries. So we definitely need to fill this. So we put 80 in groceries. So we have 50, 60, 70, and 80. So we'll go ahead and add that in there. And I go grocery shopping on Mondays, or I try to. So I will go grocery shopping Monday, and we will have all the money we need for that. And then the last expense is spending. So spending, I have $20 left over. So again, I'm going to set that aside, and spending it's $40 a week. So I'm going to put in another 40. And perfect. So our 3 expense envelopes are filled, and then I will put those into my billfold, which come with me. So next we're going to do our sinking funds. So my sinking funds I keep in this binder. This is a Recollections binder I got it at Michael's. So you open it up, and I have all of my cash envelopes hole punched, and they fit in here perfectly. So I have car maintenance, Christmas, gifts, household, kids, medical, personal care, rent, savings, and debt snowball. So what I do is I'm going to start with my sinking funds, and then we will get rent in there, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with that debt snowball one. So I always have a hard time because I don't even know where to put this. Let me kind of readjust here. Slide that over. Put that up there. Okay. That should be good enough. Alright, so I am going to start with car maintenance. Now last week, so let me first explain, these are cash envelopes that I made. So the different styles that I offer are, you can get them without hole punch where they fit, inside a billfold, and you can get them personalized with the category name on the front of them, or you can get it blank, and then you would use a wet erase marker, which I do not have one with me at the second, but anyways, you would use a wet erase marker to write on the category you want, and then you just use a baby wipe to wipe it off. It does not smear, it stays on there until you wipe it off. And then you can get it with trackers on the back or without. I don't put trackers on these 3 expenses, but I have trackers on the back of all of my sinking funds, which is nice because then I don't have to count how much is in here every single time I want to know. I can just look on the back here and know that I have $90 in here. So anytime I put money in or take money out, I write the date, what I am putting in or taking out, and what the new balance is. So last week, car maintenance had 90. So we'll first take this out and make sure that that is correct. So we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It is. And then car maintenance gets $10 a week. So we'll add another $10 to that, which will put this sinking fund at $100. And then I have to grab my wet erase marker. Give me 1 second. Okay, these are the wet erase markers that I use from Erin Condren. I like them because they have a smaller tip, so I can write better in my trackers. So today is actually the 9th. And we're going to add in 10. So our new balance for car maintenance is 100. Next is Christmas. So Christmas is my fullest envelope. Last week we were at 560. So we'll take that out, and they actually hold quite a bit, as you can see. I have $560 in here. So we have 100, 200, 220, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 520, 540, 560. Sinking funds for the time being is getting 100, so we're going to add that to it, and this one will be at $660. Like I said, I upped it from 20 just because I wanted to get it filled a little bit faster by Black Friday. So today is the 9th. We're adding in $100, which puts it at $660. Next is gifts. Gifts is a newer sinking fund for me. Last week it had 40. Take it out. We have 10, 20, 30, 40. And we are going to add another 10 to that. So gifts will be at $50. So again, the 9th, adding in 10 puts us at 50. Which is kind of nice because if I have, someone's birthday or, parents' anniversary or something, I can take the money out of there rather than taking it from my Christmas sinking fund. Household is also a newer sinking fund for me. Last week we were at 60. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and this one gets 15. So we are now at $75 for household, and this I like to use, or I will use it for if we have to, buy like laundry detergent, basically like consumables. Not grocery items, but laundry detergent, cleaning supplies, paper towel, stuff like that. Toilet paper. This one is at 15, so it puts us at 75. Next is kids. I think kids is my next biggest envelope. Yep, at 120 last week. So we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 110, 120. We'll add another 20 to that, so my kids envelope will be at 140. And this one I use for anything relating to the kids. If they wanted, like my son wanted to do a basketball camp, which we actually just got back from a little bit ago. It was this morning was his first one, and that was $40. And then my daughter wanted to do a babysitting clinic, which was just yesterday, Friday the 8th, and that was $25. So just things like that I take out of here. Medical. Slide this up a little bit. So medical, last week had 20. This is a newer envelope for me, so 5, 10, 15, 20. We're going to add another 5 to that, which will put medical at 25. This one I'll use for co-pays, and then also like if I need to buy Tylenol or cough syrup or cough drops or little things like that, I can take it out of here too, rather than taking it from my household or my groceries list. Personal care is my newest sinking fund. It has 15, and this I use for the kids' haircuts and mine. So we're going to add 10, 5, so this one will be at 30. I just got their haircuts on the 30th, so we took out $30 for that. So now I'm trying to restock it up before they need their haircuts again. So today is the 9th. We have 15, and so that'll put us at 30. Okay, so next I have $50 left, which is going to go in rent. Rent is obviously not a sinking fund, but I like to have it in a cash envelope. So we're adding 50, so this one will be at 100. And then I actually have, like I said, that there's 5 paydays for me in November. So I will have that $200 by the 4th week of November. So I'm actually going to then on the 5th week just not take anything out. So I'll have an extra $100 that will go towards that snowball on that 5th week. oops, so we have 100 is our rent total. Savings, I'm not doing anything with. I'm not funding that. I already have my $1,000 emergency fund saved in a savings account. I have that just in case I want to add something to it. And so debt snowball envelope. So I will show you guys now what I do with this. So this money that I had here that was extra money out of these envelopes for this week, I add this into my debt snowball, and then this, whatever's in this envelope at the end of the month, will be added to my checking account that has all of my extra money in it from like my weekly leftover amounts as well as what I get from YouTube and Etsy for that month. This will be added to that to just make that debt snowball payment a little bigger. So I have $22. Last week we had $5. So as you can see, I did have $139 that I put towards debt for the month of November, or October. So we have $5 in here. We're adding $22. So we're gonna have $27 total that will go towards my extra debt snowball payment. So today is the 9th. We're adding in 22, and I can tell my marker is dying. I'm gonna have to buy some new ones, which puts us at 27 total for this one. So there we have it. So everything is filled. Sinking funds make me so happy. I just love them. I think I could probably have 50 sinking funds and still be happy. I just love them. So this sinking fund binder I just keep in my desk for either when I need to use them or when I need to stuff them. And then, like I said, my 3 expense envelopes will go into my billfold in the center pocket of my billfold for when I need to use them. And that is all I have for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the things. And like I said, I will link below in the description the video of me making that extra debt snowball payment, which is how I was able to get some of these down. So I'll link that in the description down below if you guys have not checked that out. Please do. It is such a motivational and inspirational video. I think I will probably go back and watch it all the time just to kind of keep me knowing that I am working towards something. There's an end goal in sight. It was really hard to put all that money towards debt and not go spend it, but it was well worth it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!